10 people have been killed and others critically injured in a fuel tanker explosion in Boksburg, east of Johannesburg. Tributes pour in following the death of Durban-based artist Mandlenkosi Maphumulo, or Mampintsha as he was popularly known. We're coming to you live from Auckland Park, Johannesburg. Very good afternoon to you and thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. This is the second hour of SA Today with me, Unathi Patyasha. Let's take you now to our leading story at this hour. Well, let's now take you to Boksburg, where Gauteng Premier Panyaza Lesufi has been visiting the site of the deadly tanker explosion. He's addressing the media right now. Let's listen in.
The member of the Executive Council responsible for transport and logistics, together with the member of the Executive Council responsible for community safety. We are also honored to be joined by the Provincial Commissioner of the SAPS, General Mawel. Thank you so much for being here as well, for your team. We come to you saddened, emotionally gutted and destroyed by the incident that we have briefed happened just before 8 o'clock this morning. It's something that shocked all of us, and we have just finished the walkabout of the area. It resembles a war zone that we never thought it will happen in our lives. It's indeed sad, especially to the affected families, that we extend our sincerest condolences to them, but also to the support staff that was trying to assist during the incident. We also want to send our message of support to them for their speedy recovery, especially the 6 firefighters that were trying to assist the sick. We've been receiving messages of support across all government institutions, international formations, together with other NGOs that are working in this particular sector. Actually, we are humbled by the good work of the Samaritans that responded regardless of knowing what was happening, but they descended at the scene to provide assistance, together with local business people that have gone beyond their business duties to give a helping hand. It's indeed a sad day, not only for our province but for our country. And the families that have passed on behalf of government and all its arms and sectors, we want to extend our sincerest condolences to them. We wish we can explain what happened, but it's extremely difficult that we have to rely now on those that are assigned the task of pulling out the facts and presenting them to us. Since our arrival, we got a detailed briefing, and I will ask various components of the state to take you through those briefings so that we have an understanding of exactly what happened. According to the Ekurhuleni Fire Services, a truck transporting an unknown gas got stuck on a subway at the corner of Hospital and Cider Road. Because it got stuck underneath, it then started burning, and somebody called the fire department so that they can provide the necessary assistance. The Boksburg fire crew responded speedily, and on arrival they found the truck that was well alight. They tried to extinguish the fire, but unfortunately the tanker exploded, and 6 of the firefighters were injured, and an unknown number of bystanders were also injured. It also resulted, now we have received the latest figures, and if they have been updated, the team will also update us, that when we entered this space, 9 fatalities were reported. These are the fatalities that can be accounted for, and these are the fatalities that have been verified by our teams. The injured people were also taken to Tambo Memorial Hospital, but the firefighters were later transferred to Glenwood Hospital. They are currently in a stable condition, that's meaning the firefighters. In terms of the damages, the truck, that's the firefight truck, was destroyed. The truck that was carrying gas was completely destroyed and is not even identifiable. And 2 vehicles that were closer to the site were destroyed. And unfortunately, 2 other houses were badly destroyed. The portion of this hospital was badly damaged, and section of the hospital as well was cordoned off and closed. And our team are analyzing the situation so that they can advise further whether the hospital should continue operating. But there are some section of the hospital that is still operating, and we remain hopeful we'll clear the other areas as soon as possible. As I said earlier on, this is a sad day. A sad day for our province, a sad day for our country. And we want to extend once more our sincerest condolences to the affected family. There is one family, we are reported that it lost 4 family members at the scene. And to that family, it's indeed a sad moment. The information that has been brought to our attention is that the driver of the vehicle is alive but hospitalized, and we've been briefed as well that he is a South African, and the truck was moving from Richards Bay to go to Botswana, and we didn't understand how it managed to go through the area that we're in now. But the police are dealing with this situation. The provincial commissioner is here. They're attending to everything that they need to attend, and they will provide us with the relevant information. We also want to wish other people that have been injured at the scene. We want to wish them speedy recovery, and we remain hopeful that our Creator will be with them as they go through this trauma. We want to thank all the NGOs, regardless of their affiliation, for the kind of support that they are continuing to give to volunteers, to our emergency services staff, and all teams that are trying to assist to attend to this matter. As we speak now, the railway infrastructure around that area is completely destroyed. The road infrastructure around that area is also completely destroyed. We liaise, and the team has already started doing so, with the relevant state bodies that will provide the information that we need so that we can share it with you. All the teams have activated a 2-hour reporting system, which implements every 2 hours. We will update the information that we are having at our disposal so that we can be as current as possible. But I'm pleased by the cooperation of all the 3 spheres of government, that when this tragedy hit us, there was no competition but complementing each other's work was the order of the day. And that is why I want to thank the executive mayor. I also want to thank the provincial government team, emergency team, the South African police, and all the private security firms that immediately cordoned off strategic areas. I want to thank the church that have been with us and the chaplains that have been with us ever since this tragedy hit us. We're in a difficult situation. We are in deep pain. We are mourning with those that are mourning. And we remain hopeful that those that have been assigned the task to get information on our behalf will do so and provide the relevant information that will assist us. I want to hand over to the executive mayor just to clarify one or two areas where they feel they need to clarify. I'll also ask the MEC responsible for infrastructure to also clarify the state of the hospital that you are in, and then also ask the police, the provincial commissioner, to explain where they are with their investigations. And then when there are follow-up questions from members of the media, we will be in a position to take the relevant departments that can assist us with the information. Executive Mayor.
Thank you, Honourable Premier. Firstly, our deepest condolences have to go out to the family. It is indeed a tragedy that happened here today. And then to all the firefighters who have been injured, we wish them a speedy recovery. I must just say that I am really proud of the team that was on scene so quickly, that assisted so quickly. And then also, I think a huge thank you should go out to all the councillors and then that are part of the area and part of Ekurhuleni, to say thank you for immediately helping, and the NGOs specifically. It shows us from the NGOs the commitment that we have there. On quite a bit of investigation on structural damages specifically to the houses. It is important that those families who are there are safe. And then make sure that our spheres of government work together in conjunction with each other to rehabilitate the roads, the bridges, the rail. But I would like to please ask truck drivers to be vigilant when you come to bridges. Today has been a tragedy, but could have been a much bigger tragedy when we look at what we investigated on the structural damages to the hospital as well. So just with that, again, our deepest condolences to the families. Thank you.
Thanks. Sorry, I didn't introduce Alderman Ngobese of Housing. Thanks. Sorry.
Introduce it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Thanks. Thank you so much. MEC Melia.
Yeah, no, thanks, Premier. Maybe in... Oh, the one... Sorry. Maybe... Oh, sorry. Yeah, maybe in addition to what the Premier has raised, we met with the management of the hospital. The acting CEO is here, Dr. Shezi. And in the briefing, we were also told that there are 37 employees and patients who got injured. 13 employees and 24 patients. So just to add on that number, I think it's important. The second thing is that we will be conducting what we call a radiologist. What is it? Yeah, we will actually appoint a radiologist to do an assessment of the level of gas in the air, because that's important to determine. And based on that report, we will then do what we call a water spraying if it's necessary to reduce the level of gas. And then the technical team from the Department of Infrastructure is here to make a full assessment of the potential structural damage, because we are told that some sections of the hospital shook a bit during the explosion. So we don't want to take anything for granted. So as the Premier has said, after that assessment, we will make a determination whether we must evacuate people, close the certain sections or not. And then we will be able to make an announcement. So at this point, we will not know how much it will cost us, but there are areas where ceilings have been damaged, doors have been removed, windows are broken. Yeah, so those are preliminary assessments that we've made. Thanks, Premier.
Thanks, Mr. Can I take?
It's fine.
Can I take the police commission? Thank you, sir.
Let him sit.
Just an update.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Honorable Premier, all the MECs here, MMCs, HODs. From the law enforcement agency side, we are also integrated. We also have our EMPD, who's hard at work ensuring that they control the access to this crime scene, and also assisting and supporting the police. And from sub-side, we have also mobilized all the specialized unit, that is our explosives unit, our K9 detectives, so that they can investigate this incident. We start with where the incident happened. Obviously, if there is that kind of a collision, then reckless and negligent driving case will be open against the driver, so that we can establish whether the driver was negligent or not. So for now, we cannot say he was negligent or he was not, but the investigation, it will continue. Coming to the public and private properties which is damaged, also that one, we need to open a case of malicious damage to property, so that we can establish as to who's responsible, whether it was through omission or intention and so forth, to cause that kind of damages. And lastly, it will be the inquest for those who passed on. Our sincere condolences to them and their families, sincere condolences to the families, their loved ones and their relatives. So inquest docket will be registered. The pathologists, they are on site, they will assist us to can establish exactly what is the cause of their death, and working together with the prosecutors, obviously, will be directed whether we have to change the charges from inquest to murder. It will depend on the investigation which it will unfold. But for now, we are hard at work, and let me also appreciate the disaster management led obviously by the regional manager and Tate Reddy, for coordinating all the law enforcement agencies, including the private securities, so that everything which we do it in a coordinated manner. And thus far, we are working very well. We complement each other. We support each other. As the Premier have said, that there's no competition. Thank you.
Thanks, PC. Police, I want to stop it there. I want to open to members of the media. I've seen there are various political parties here. I saw ATM, I saw EFF, I saw Patriotic Alliance. So let's thank all the parties that are here. Thanks. The deputy chair of the region of the ANC was there as well. So
The DA was also here.
So, I see the IFP as well.
I'm here as an MMC for human
Yes,
settlement. I'm wearing that cap today.
Tanya, I see the DA as well. So.
Yeah.
But thanks that all other parties are here to support us.
Thank you, President.
Thanks.
Okay,
We'll take
colleagues,
media.
I think we then opening up for round of questions. Maybe we'll do 2 or 3. If I can just request that by show of hands, I see most of the media stay this side. If you're this side, I don't want to miss anyone. Okay, I see most of you stay this side. You can just introduce yourself, the media house you represent, and the question you are posing. Maybe it's multiple questions will indicate that the panel can note. Where there's follow-up questions, just please do indicate with your hand so that we can coordinate properly. Okay, let's start from my side, yes?
Linda Mesa from News from Africa. I'll start with you, Commissioner. Have you engaged with the owners of the trucking company? And what information have they given you so far in terms of the vehicle itself, what happened at the time? Number 2, I heard MC speaking about 13 employees in the hospital injured. Is there a need at this moment to bring in more medical staff to assist with those who have been injured? Third question, we've been engaging some of the family members who still at this point don't know where their loved ones are. Are you going to establish some sort of central command where people who still don't know where their loved ones can come and report that they're missing? That's all.
Okay.
There's still from ENCA. Perhaps on points of clarity with regards to those whose homes have been damaged in the perimeter of the explosion, where are they going to be housed? Are they allowed to go back into their homes? We are seeing a lot of relief coming in for those affected. How are you coordinating in terms of that? And I think I am covered by my colleague in terms of the trucking company itself. What details do we have around the gas that was being transported? Do we know what it is? Because I think if my understanding is correct, these trucks are supposed to have labeling in terms of what it's transporting. I know there are images circulating prior to the explosion on what the truck looked like, etc., and how it got jammed underneath the bridge. The communication with the company itself, I think that I'm covered in terms of what details they've given me there. Oh, and sorry, I don't know at this point if you can estimate the damage. Thank you. In terms of
Okay, that looks like, I think, on this one hand, I'll just take one hand, another hand side.
Good afternoon, I'm Patricia Kasaki from the SABC. Are there plans to perhaps evacuate some of the families as well, with some of the community members who alluded to this, that they feel that those who are closer to the disaster might need to be evacuated? Are there plans like that on the cards, and if so, where will they be taken to? How many families are we talking about?
Let's allow the Provincial Commissioner PC to start with your issues.
Thank you very much, Premier. It's still early for us to can make conclusions, but what we know is that the owner of this trucking company is here with our detectives, is cooperating with us, he's giving us the information, and of which we appreciate. Because some other people, when things like this, they happen, they just vanish. So he's here with us, and based on what we'll get from him, then we'll be able to continue with our investigations. And all what we know is that the truck was transporting the hazard material. Everything, it will form part of the investigation. Thanks.
Thanks, PC. Executive Mayor, you wanted to take?
Yes, thank you. There is a command center already established that is outside here, which the Chief of Police and DEMS is also manning. Every hour they have updates of what will be happening. Distribution of relief also will be handled specifically through the proper structures so that everyone is catered for and everyone is taken care of. They are looking at, as I said, the structures of the houses. There are some safe houses that they have taken them through to already through NGOs. And obviously when the need exists and there are more families that need to be relocated, that will be done through the command centre and through the proper structures that they have set up already.
Thank you. Executive Mayor. Ms. Maile.
I think there were two questions. The first one was I had to quickly check with the acting head of department for the Department of Health. And the matter also came up in the morning at the briefing. There won't be a need to get additional staff at this point. The hospital is already working with other hospitals. Some of the patients have been taken to Bara. If we come to a determination that we must evacuate everyone, we will speak to all the other hospitals. We might even have to approach the private sector if there needs be. And I think the Department of Health will be able to update you regularly once they've made that determination. On the houses, we must firstly make a conditional assessment just to understand what is the condition of those houses before we make a determination. At this point, the pathologists are still busy. We can't get close there. Once they are done, we will bring our engineers to look at the structures. We were informed that there was only one family that was not able to stay in their house. So the MMC, we spoke with the MMC for human settlement in the city of Ekurhuleni. They will definitely make an intervention. We will, if needs be, make resources available if there are people who must be relocated. We've got a voucher program for material buying, which is run through the Housing Development Agency. So at an appropriate moment, we'll make a determination if we must activate that program or if we have to get the families alternative houses. Yeah.
Thanks, MEC Maile. MEC Kumar Mtuma.
I think from our side, our teams that are providing emergency services have been activated because, as we all know, we are in that period of abnormal rains, which create a lot of floods. And our early warning system indicated that for the whole of festive season, we've got to have our teams activated on the ground. And we're working very closely with all our local municipality, including the Ekurhuleni municipality. So we will be working together with the communities around here and all parties affected during this time and post whatever that has happened in this particular. So our teams are ready, are there, they are activated, they're on the ground. So we will continue to provide that service and ensure a greater coordination.
Thanks, MEC. In terms of missing personnel, the team that is coordinating the rescue team that is coordinating all the activities will update us every 2 hours so that we are sure before we leave here. But also the police have indicated that they've got the K9 team that is doing the search across the entire area, because they also have a sense that there might be some people that are missing. So they are also extending that search to that area or around the area. What we need to do is to ensure that every arm of the state share the information that they have with another arm of the state. And that have been happening all along, and we remain hopeful that it will assist us to deal with those things. But we need to thank the emergency team across. You know, they've been working exceptionally hard. And we need to thank them, and they must not get tired. And I'm happy that the NGOs are giving them all the necessary support that they need so that they can continue to do their work. So as soon as we get additional information, I think Mutali and the team, we will deposit that information. But for now, we are indeed we're in a state of mourning, and we'll do everything within our powers to support the affected families and also ensure that all the relevant resources are deployed where they're needed so that we can assist everyone that needs our assistance. Mtaletali, if you don't mind, if we can leave it here, and if there are follow-up areas, we can interact with them at the departmental level.
Colleagues, I think we're going to maybe end it here, and then I think as it has been indicated that the Command Center would be giving some regular updates, and I think when there's new updates, we will coordinate so that you get those particular updates. Thank you very much for your attention. I think the briefing will end here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, there we have it. Provincial and city officials, they're briefing the media after visiting the site of that deadly tanker explosion in Railway Street in Boksburg, east of Johannesburg. Gauteng Premier Panyaza Lesufi there saying that the scene of the explosion resembles that of a war zone, saying that the province is in fact in a state of mourning. Of course, he's clarified and confirmed that 9 people were unfortunately killed and many others critically injured after the fuel tanker exploded just before 8 a.m. this morning. The Premier has obviously expressed condolences to all the families who have lost loved ones. One family in particular has lost 4 members in that explosion. Just giving a few facts, of course, following that explosion, saying at this stage authorities say the truck containing gas got stuck under a low-lying bridge near the Tambo Memorial Hospital in Railway Street and then immediately caught alight and then started burning. The Boksburg fire crew were then called and they responded very quickly to the scene, to the fire of course, but that's when the first explosion then occurred, injuring about 6 of the firefighters and several other people that were standing around that fire that initially broke out around the truck. And of course they were also injured, and they form part of many others who were then rushed to hospital and were treated. Other information that is coming through is that the truck driver managed to escape that fire. He was assisted out of the truck when it was burning at the time. And what we know about the driver at this stage is that he is licensed, he is a South African citizen, and that he is currently being treated in hospital. Police have also confirmed that they are in communication with the owner of the truck, and they are trying, of course, to establish where exactly the truck was coming from and where it was headed. In fact, it is reported that the truck was transporting liquefied petroleum gas. Of course, we'll bring you more information as and when we have it throughout the course of the day.